In this video, I share the best technique that I use to blow dry my natural hair, and this is after plenty of years of trials and errors and many setbacks. So if you ever blow dry your hair, you want to listen up. So I have just freshly washed my hair, conditioned it, detangled thoroughly, and put my hair in these Bantu knots right this minute. Like, my hair is still very wet. And Bantu knots are really good to start your blow dry because they really stretch those roots. I'm going to be using the Farewell Freeze from Briogeo, which has been, a staple for me for many, many years. So I trust this one as a heat protectant. Obviously, my hair is still very damp right here, and I am going to go in with a cloth just to, dry it out a little bit because there is excess water in there. And before I go ahead to blow dry, I just want it to not be too wet. That way I'm not applying unnecessary heat to my hair. I'm using a small amount of the heat protectant and applying it all the way from the roots, but mainly concentrating on the ends because those are the little babies we're really trying to protect from the heat. I hold my hair taut and begin to blow dry. Now, if you have a concentrator, that will be the best. That way the heat is really focused on the particular area you're going ahead to blow dry. But as you can see, I don't have one, so I'm just using what I have. I'm protecting my ends from the heat until the very end, and I'm obviously not using any combs and brushes, and just running the blower through the hair really well and really taking my time about it. The key here is to hold the hair taut, and as you can see, in no time the hair was stretched. I obviously have it here on high heat and high speed, and more on that in a minute. Once the length of the hair is dry, I go ahead to just quickly blow dry and stretch my ends. I do not allow the heat to linger on my ends because I don't want them to be damaged, and over time, you guys know that the ends are really fragile. And of course, I am keeping them, protected from the constant application of heat as I am stretching the rest of the hair. And right here, I'm just going in with a wide tooth comb and gently going ahead to arrange the hair, detangle, gently. And you want to take your time about it. I tried as much as I can, but as you can see, I would love to be gentler with this particular process. And yeah, if you have the time better than me, go ahead and just really take your time about this because it could really set you back, guys. But yeah, this is what I can do at the moment. Once that section is detangled well, stretched fully, I go ahead and put it in a twist and go on to the next one. This method I have found to be the easiest, the simplest, and the most healthy way to stretch out or blow dry natural hair. Obviously, you guys might be asking, why am I using such high heat and high speed? The thing here is, I don't blow dry my hair on the regular. I do not, style my hair with heat on the regular. I don't believe my hair is particularly damaged to that extent. So I just feel like blow drying the hair is not something that would cause, too much damage, for someone with a routine like mine, especially that I do it very rarely. So if maybe you're someone that's got more fragile hair, more damaged hair, you might want to reduce the heat, go, medium heat and, a slower speed. But, I'm also trying to use my time effectively. As you guys know, I'm a mom. So I literally am counting my minutes about this. It's not the easiest thing to be a mom and have natural hair. Yeah, have a baby and let's talk. But yeah, this is the process that I found to be the most effective. In the past, I have used that pebble brush where it's a brush but also has heat coming out of it, and the truth is it did blow dry the hair, but it was not the best for length retention. This method that I'm showing you right here is the one that a lot of naturals use rarely, very sparingly for length retention. A wide tooth comb is better to use for this next step to try and detangle the hair. I'm using the tangle teaser here because I really wanted it thoroughly detangled, but to be honest with you, this was an unnecessary step. I wish I just used the wide tooth comb. The wide tooth comb is gentler for this particular process or step, And right here at the roots, I noticed that the hair was still a little bit damp. So I went ahead to stretch it a little bit further and detangled, you know, much more, just to make sure that the stretch was really good. And the reason I really wanted a good stretch, good detangle, is because I'm going ahead to give my hair a good trim after this and install obviously a new set of permanent parts. You guys know all about this. So this is why I am doing everything I'm doing in this video. So just depending on where you're at in your routine and the purpose for your blow dry, go ahead and do what works for you with regards to each particular step. But protecting the ends from the repeated heat application, you know, aggressive detangling, and really being gentle with your, you know, dry detangling after the blow dry, those steps are non-negotiable. I feel like you should really make sure that you get that right if length retention is a goal of yours. Another thing when it comes to just using high heat, high speed is that this heat protectant has proven to me over the years that it really does do the job protecting my hair. So I feel confident and comfortable to use, you know, that amount of heat on my hair, and also the speed. And if you think about it, a flat iron for me is probably going to be more damaging in the amount of heat and just the technique of the device, as opposed to blow drying that's rarely done, right? So yeah, that's just my reasoning around using high heat and high speed. And when it comes to why I need to blow dry my hair to do a trim, I just want to clarify, you actually don't need to blow dry your hair to trim. You can trim on your natural texture. You can stretch with heatless foams, etc. But for me, at the moment, I just cannot process my hair and have that amount of time to be waiting and, you know, putting in flexi rods, etc., or even just risking, you know, taking out length that I don't need to trim off. Because, you know, if your hair is textured and curled, or in its curly coily state, chances are when you do go ahead to trim, you will take out healthy length, right? So yeah, just do what works for you. But for me, this is what I need to do right now. I'm just going ahead to apply a little bit of oil before I went to detangle. This is not really necessary, but it does help, you know, detangle a little bit easier, because as you guys know, detangling is one of those things. It's an art, right? It's an art. So find what works best for you. Also, for my naturals that do not trim their hair ever, yeah, round of applause to you, because I can't do it. I really can't do it. The single strand knots, the split ends just make the maintenance and the care of my hair difficult and unenjoyable. And the length that I retain is just not healthy. It's too fragile for me to actually keep. So I do aim to sort of have healthier ends, or the majority of my ends to be healthy, in order for me to actually retain healthy length. And it's like the last time I trimmed my hair, it was 8 months ago. So it's overdue. So I'm actually thinking of scheduling, not my trims, but scheduling the time that I check my ends, right? And I will share the video trimming my hair, etc. But this one is just about blow drying for length retention maximization. If someone is still on the fence, like, the tension method is it. If you are on a length retention journey, I'll definitely encourage you to try this method. And again, it's not necessary to blow dry your hair, but if you need to, definitely use this method. Rev-Air, of course, is another one that I would recommend. It's a great option. As you can see, I am struggling there and trying to detangle and trying to be gentle. It's really tricky because our hair just loves to be in its natural texture. But yeah, it is what it is. And of course, you guys comment below, let me know how you trim your hair. If you trim on a schedule or you just play it by ear. What I found is that, you know, when I do not put it in my calendar, for example, to trim, I end up forgetting, right? So not necessarily that you should trim on a schedule, but if you don't make a reminder or put a reminder to check your ends, you might forget about your ends, as I have. I should have really trimmed at the 6-month mark or even earlier if I needed to, right? But because I forgot all about it, got busy, motherhood kicked in, all that stuff, I forgot to actually trim my hair, and I've got more damage. And you'll see with the trim video, I actually take out quite a bit of length. My hair, yeah, needed a major trim. It's a cut, if you ask me. So yeah, moving forward, I'm gonna put reminders to trim my hair. But if my hair doesn't need it, I won't trim it. However, it's a reminder to check my ends, right? To assess my ends. And blow drying does give you that opportunity to really assess the condition of your natural hair. This was the most relaxed and the most enjoyable I have been while blow drying my hair. I hate the process of stretching my hair with heat, and I can see that the main reason around that was that the method I was using was just frustrating me. The repeated brushing was not helping me. It was painful and obviously breaking my hair, but also detangling the hair prior to actually using the blow dryer, game changer. I had to do it so that this process was a little bit smoother. And right here, I'm just giving visuals, girl, of the length, the texture, the thickness of my hair, which I absolutely love. And I know this length will be gone soon because the trim, it is a major one. Watch out for that video. I'll see you in the next one.